This week I'm exploring the north end of Yellowstone National Park. Along with providing some locations for photography, I'll give you some tips and general information about the area if you choose to come visit. If you're new to my channel, I'm Matt, wildlife photographer and cinematic filmmaker. I travel around the country in my van making these videos to give you guys some insight into the places I've visited. As you can see, fall's in full swing, so I'm hoping to get some elk and rut footage along with some bears and possibly go up to the Beartooth to look for the mountain goats. So let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. I'm gonna be here for a whole week, so I should have lots of good information for you. And if you hang in there to the end, I already know I have a special treat for you. For day one of exploring Yellowstone National Park on the north end, I've decided to go up the Beartooth Highway. Due to the weather that's coming in later in the week, I didn't want to wait and risk not being able to go. So hopefully we can find some mountain goats. But either way, I heard it's a very beautiful drive and I've never been up there. So I wanted to take you guys with me along the highway and see what we can get into. Part of the Beartooth Highway is the Beartooth Lake. And there's actually some eagles here on the Beartooth Lake. So it's a great place to stop and take some photos. I made it to the top of the Beartooth Pass. Someone told me near the ski areas where the goats hang out, but I've yet to see a goat. It's not looking so good for me finding a goat on this trip. As you know, they like to be up really high and the ski area is typically where they're at, but they're not here right now. So I'm going to continue up the road. I'm glad I could bring you along with me because it's a very beautiful drive. I still have not found a goat yet, despite all the people telling me that the Beartooth Road or Beartooth Drive is the best place for goats. But I've stopped at Rock Creek Canyon, which is towards the top of the pass, and it's very beautiful. You could possibly get some great landscape photos here, but the window is very short to come up this high because there's already snow up here, and there's snow forecasted for like mid-September, and they actually close this road really early, so keep that in mind if you decide to come to the Beartooth. On the way back to Yellowstone, you'll find the town of Crook City and then Silvergate. It's a great place to stop and grab lunch or maybe a cup of coffee on a cold rainy day like it is turned into this afternoon. Tomorrow the weather is forecasted to turn for the worse in North Yellowstone, so I'm going to take my friend Julie out to see the wild horses, and Cody, it's something that she really wanted to do and I've never seen them, so we're going to Cody in the morning. On the trip to Cody, we found a bear jam with an elk carcass and 2 grizzly bears sleeping on it. So it's pretty cool. Check out this footage I got from it. We're not going to stay too long because we have to get out to Cody. We want to check out the wild horses, but it's very cool find, very cool thing to see. Just in Yellowstone fashion, right after we left the carcass, we got maybe a mile up the road, there was a grizzly standing on the side of the road, and I was able to get some amazing photos and some amazing video, so check this out. We've come to Cody, Wyoming. Just a little bit east of Cody, Wyoming, you'll find mile marker 74. That's where the McCullough Wild Horse Herd area is at. You actually just go to where the sign is at near mile marker 74. You turn in, you drive down this road. They have this pretty sign to let you know you're in the right place. And we're gonna go look for some wild horses. We have not located the horses yet, but it is a very beautiful drive just going out into the wild horse herd management area. I highly recommend coming to Cody and making this drive out here. I hope that we find some horses before we leave. So let me just tell you, after 3.5 hours of looking for these wild horses, we finally found them. So just keep in mind, you're not gonna pull up here and they're gonna be right at the gate. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but we've been searching this very, very large piece of property for these wild horses, and we finally drove a little bit past mile marker 74 to about 76, and we spotted them up on a hill from the highway, and we were able to drive out to get a little bit closer to them. and it's very cool. It was definitely worth the experience. So if you're in or around or near Cody, you should definitely check them out. We're gonna proceed to get some photos of them, and I'll take a little bit of video for you guys a little bit closer up so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. As you can see in these photos, there's quite a bit of heat coming off the ground, or what's called heat glaze, and it's really affected the quality of the photos and the videos I took this day. So just keep in mind, if you're going to photograph the horses, or really if you're photographing anytime, it's best to do it in the early morning hours, or possibly locate the horses and wait till the afternoon to photograph them, because your photos will be much better. If you're curious what heat glaze is and what it does to the sharpness of your photos, I actually did a whole video on things that affect the sharpness of your photo, or how to get sharper images. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check that out. If you do come to visit the wild horses, make sure you keep a safe distance from them. This is for the horses' safety and your safety. The minimum distance is 300 feet or 100 yards. We have actually seen quite a few horses running around, fighting with each other and kicking each other, so you definitely don't want to get trampled by a horse. This morning it's pretty rainy and cloudy, so we're just cruising around, and we found this cool lake here on the northern end of the park called Twin Lakes. There's a couple swans out there and some ducks, which presents a great opportunity for some waterfowl photos. So if you're in this area, it's worth a stop. Next stop is Ice Lake. Ice Lake is just a short hike. It's about a half a mile from the parking lot. The trail conditions are really good. There was a previous fire here, so there's lots of downed trees near the lake, which presents an amazing opportunity for a reflection photo or some type of scenic lake photo. There's also a loon out there, which loon is high on my list of birds I like to take photos of. And there's also an eagle in that tree right there. So you get the eagle-loon combo at Ice Lake. As part of day 3, we're exploring the northwest side of the park. This is Grizzly Lake behind me. Grizzly Lake is very beautiful. It's about a 2-mile hike from the car, so 4 miles round trip. Just be prepared for that if you decide to come here. It's a great place to just come and eat lunch if you want a chill hike with not many people on it. And you could possibly see an otter, beaver. There's some elk scat around here. We saw a bison on the way in. And obviously it's a lake, so there's eagles, loons, and ducks. It's definitely a great option for photography, especially if you're on this side of the park. Everybody thinks it's fun and games doing wildlife photography until you're sitting in the back of a car hiding from the rain, eating a freeze-dried meal for dinner. It's pretty rainy today at Yellowstone, so I've decided to take Julie down to the Tetons to show her a little bit different of an area. She's only been there one time and it was super smoky, so we're gonna do that today. But we happen to be passing by the geyser basin here on the west side of the park near Old Faithful, and there was a lone wolf just cruising across the field. We got some footage of it, so check it out. We made it down to the Tetons. It's a little late to do photography at this point, so we came to Teton Village because Julie wanted to check out Corbett's Waffles, which is actually really cool. It's in the Teton Village area where the Jackson Hole Ski Resort is at. You actually ride the ski lift up to the top, and there's a restaurant up there that serves waffles. So we're gonna go check those waffles out and we'll let you know how they are. Along with the delicious waffles that are Corbett's Cabin, you also get this amazing view from the top of the Tetons. You can kind of see Grand Teton over that way, but the backcountry area is very beautiful. This would be a great place for photography, to be honest with you. You just have to pay for the lift ticket to get up here. So this area is just a testament of how great the greater Yellowstone area is. The weather was bad at Yellowstone, so we made the 2-hour trip down to the Tetons for just a couple of days. And first thing in the morning, we have a grizzly bear on the side of the road here. It's just a little over 100 yards, so I can be outside the vehicle. But if she moves this way at all, I'm gonna have to get inside the van and shoot from inside the van, like Julie is doing in there. She's a little bit wiser than me. But anyhow, such a cool experience to see a bear. It's 6'10", the grizzly, which is a descendant of 399. So that's super cool for me to be able to show that to Julie. and she has a memory to go back to Yellowstone and go back home with. Today's Thursday, it's afternoon time, and we've come down to Lamar Valley because the bison are starting the rut. Bison are awesome to photograph, but when they're fighting, it's even better. You could possibly get two bulls knocking heads, which is my favorite thing to photograph with bison, but we'll see what happens when the sun starts to get a little bit lower and they get a little bit more active. We've found a place where there's a coyote actively hunting on the side of the road. Unfortunately, there's a person right there that is walking towards the coyote and pushing the coyote away from us. This is something that you should not do. I understand getting closer, but if you're getting closer to the point where the coyote is actively, or the animal is actively looking in your direction and moving away from you, not only are you ruining it for everyone else, but you're disturbing the animal. We've come back to Hayden Valley for the second time today, and Hayden Valley continues to prove itself again and again. We got 3 coyotes. Julie's back here getting some eagle photos of the eagle in the tree over there. And there actually is a bear on the other side of that hill over there. We already got some photos of that, so check out this amazing footage. Today is Julie's last day, so we've decided to come outside the park. Just north of Gardiner, there is an area where the caraway root is abundant. The caraway root is a staple in the grizzlies' diet in the late summer, fall months before they go into hibernation. So this area is a great place to see grizzly bears. We actually saw 3 this morning already. It looked like a mama bear with 2 second-year cubs, so they're fairly large. And I was able to get some photos of all 3 of them together, which is amazing. The light was in the background. So this area is definitely someplace you should check out, especially if you're on the north end of Yellowstone National Park. This morning I woke up and it's pouring down rain. It was raining last night when I went to sleep, but I was hoping by this morning it would be gone. But I checked the weather, and unfortunately, this is gonna be my last day at Yellowstone National Park due to the weather. There's a chance of snow and ice with a hard freeze warning for tonight. And although I am prepared for the cold weather, I don't really want to be driving around on these steep mountain roads that are around Yellowstone, especially the north part of Yellowstone, when there's a potential for ice and snow. The van is 2-wheel drive. I do have snow tires, but it's just not something I want to do. So today's going to be my last day here, so hopefully I can get something good to close it out. I'm glad I decided to come out today. Even though the weather is less than favorable for photography, oftentimes the animals don't care. And I'm fortunate enough to catch a whole pack of wolves. Just moving across that hill out there is the Wapiti Lake, or Wapiti Lake, however you say it. I'm not really sure. But either way, it's a whole pack of wolves. Rarely ever do you see a wolf, much less a whole pack of wolves. So this is an amazing opportunity, amazing experience. I'm hoping they come a little bit closer to the road so I'm able to get some photos. But if not, I'm still able to get some video for you guys. And like I mentioned in my last video from Yellowstone, if you don't have a big lens or a teleconverter or some type of scope, it might be something you want to rent or pick up before you come here, because oftentimes this stuff is far away. These wolves are probably like 500 to 600 yards away, which is a little too far to get photos of them. After the exciting wolf morning I had in the rain, the weather cleared up. The sun actually came out for a few minutes, and I noticed in this field across from where the wolves were at, there was two birds like kind of hunting around. I wasn't really sure what they were, so I got my camera out, and it turns out they're northern harrier hawks, which are not super rare birds, but the male is very cool looking. It has yellow eyes. They kind of have a flat face like an owl, and I was able to get some cool photos of the female. Unfortunately, the male didn't come close enough, but check out these cool photos I got. I think you guys will enjoy them. That's gonna wrap up this week's video at Yellowstone National Park. If you have any questions about the park itself or Gardiner, the town, where to stay, what to do, please feel free to drop me a comment. I'll help in any way I can. It appears winter is setting in here, so I'm headed back to the Tetons to get some fall foliage colors with the mountains. The elk and the moose are in rut as well, so we're gonna see what we can get into next week. I'll be making a video about that, so make sure you hit the bell notification and subscribe to my channel so you get a notification when that video comes out. If you enjoyed this video and you wanna check out another one, last week I went to Glacier National Park and made my top 10 favorite locations video for photographing Glacier National Park. I'll attach it right here, and I'll see you over there.